Are you tired of looking in the mirror and seeing yourself with love handles? Have you tried everything under the sun to get rid of them, but no matter what you do, they just don't seem to leave for good? In this video, I'm going to give you 2 simple steps to lose the love handles permanently. Before we get into the 2-step plan, I want to tell you who I am and why I think you should listen to me. My name is Joey Joheim. I'm the co-owner of DefaultKings.com. We're an online men's fitness coaching company that since 2019 has helped over 431 men permanently lose excess weight and excess body fat. The average client that works with us loses around 30.1 pounds and ends up leaving looking something like this. That being said, let's get into it. What you need to first understand is this: you cannot spot target fat loss. It is impossible to choose where your fat is going to leave your body from. So next time you see a belly fat burning core workout, just know that that's not actually what's happening when you do that workout. What you need to optimize for is total body fat loss while simultaneously building muscle in the area that you're aiming to lose the fat from. By building muscle in that area, you're going to start to give it a more sculpted and defined look, but we'll get into that later in the video. Step number 1, total body fat loss. To lose fat, you need to get into a calorie deficit. This means you have to be consuming less calories than your body burns. This is achieved most effectively through cleaning up your diet, because controlling your calorie intake is always going to be lower effort than increasing your calorie burn or output. So how do you clean up your diet? It's not about cutting your favorite foods or meals. I know a lot of people will tell you to do that, but that's just not the case. What I've seen work best with our clients inside of DefaultKings.com is focusing on the quantity game before you focus on the quality game. You can generally eat whatever you want as long as you're staying within the set parameters for your calorie and protein goals. The reason this works is because all love handles, or any fat really is just stored excess calories. Those excess calories come from consuming more calories than you burn, which is a quantity problem, not a quality problem. Until you're around 15% body fat, which is where you'll start to see your love handles actually fade, all I think you need to prioritize is hitting the proper amount of calories and the proper amount of protein. And don't get me wrong, this is not me saying that quality doesn't matter. It does. But it's not required to get to 15% body fat, and it's certainly not the biggest lever that you can pull to get there. Now, when it comes to first finding your proper calorie intake, what you can do is multiply your goal body weight by 10. And that's your calorie limit for the day. So let's say you're 250 pounds and your goal is to get to 200 pounds. You would do 200 pounds times 10. That works out to about 2,000 calories a day. I want you to think of this calorie goal as a ceiling. You don't go above it. Now, when it comes to finding the proper protein intake, you're going to be using that goal body weight again and multiplying it by 0.7. So using that number of 200 pounds again, if you were to multiply that by 0.7, that will work out to 140. That number of 140 is the grams of protein you should be eating per day. Now with protein, I want you to think of that 140 number, or whatever that is for you, as a floor. It's the bare minimum that you're going to be consuming on a daily basis. You can track both your calories and protein using a free app like MyFitnessPal. So that covers the overconsumption of calories in your diet, but it's worth me also covering my favorite ways to burn calories, because that's only going to increase that gap and speed up your fat loss. Weightlifting or resistance training in general is a fantastic form of exercise, and quite frankly, it's the biggest lever you can pull when it comes to sculpting an ideally shaped body. More on that in step number 2. But when it comes to active calorie burn, lifting weights and resistance training is typically far from ideal. Most people are only going to burn 100 to 300 calories per hour lifting weights at a normal pace, and that's of course going to vary based on your sex, age, height, weight, metabolic rate, and other factors. I recommend you find an active hobby. I define an active hobby as something active you enjoy and participate in multiple times a week. This of course allows you to get extra activity and increase your heart rate, which will help you burn more calories. But the big caveat here is making sure that you actually enjoy it, because that's how you're going to stick to it long term. This can be as simple as regularly going for walks, or as intense as training something like combat sports. It's important for you to know that the more intense of an active hobby that you select, the more extra calories you're going to burn. And the less intense of an active hobby that you select, the fewer calories you're going to burn. Personally, I do jiu-jitsu 3 to 5 times per week and walk almost daily. Some of our clients' favorites include things like pickleball, pickup basketball, hiking, mountain biking, men's league softball, and plenty more. That covers everything you need to know about total body fat loss when it comes to losing the love handles. So on to step number 2. Before we move on to step number 2, if you are a family-minded guy that is struggling to lose the weight and actually keep it off for good, my team and I will work with you one-on-one to help you permanently lose 10% of your body weight. And if you gain back a single pound after working with us, we'll refund you in full. So if that sounds interesting, go to defaultkings.com and book a free brainstorm chat with one of the fat loss experts on my team to see how we can help. Step number 2 is targeted body sculpting. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you can't choose where fat leaves your body from, but you can choose where you add muscle to. When it comes to losing your love handles, I recommend you target the areas where your love handles actually sit, which is your lower abdomen and your obliques. This additional muscle mass will not only help with the total body fat loss, because muscle burns more calories at rest than fat, but it will also give you that sculpted V look that you're looking for in your midsection. I'm going to give you 2 oblique focused core workouts. One is going to be for at the gym, and the other one is going to be for at home with no equipment required. Exercise number 1 that you're going to be doing at the gym is half kneel wood chops. And you can do both the high variation and the low variation. With both of these, you're going to want to be doing 2 sets of 4 to 8 reps on each side. Now the goal for intensity is to fail somewhere in that 4 to 8 range. If you do more than 8 reps, you went too light. If you do less than 4 reps, you went too heavy. Exercise number 2 for at the gym is going to be weighted side bends. Now you are going to be aiming to do 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps on both side, and just like the wood chops, you're going to want to be going all the way to failure, somewhere in that 6 to 10 rep range. If you did more than 10 reps, you went too light. If you do less than 6 reps, you went too heavy. Exercise number 3 that you're going to be doing at the gym is suitcase carries. Now you're going to be doing 3 of these for 30 to 60 seconds on each side. And just like the other 2 I mentioned, the goal is to fail somewhere in that 30 to 60 second range. So if you went beyond a minute, the weight wasn't heavy enough. If you went below 30 seconds, the weight was too heavy. The goal with these is to stand completely upright and make sure your core is engaged. If you're leaning over to the side, you're not going to be getting the actual core and oblique activation that you're looking for this exercise. For all of these exercises that I mentioned, you can be resting for 60 to 90 seconds between each one of your sets. Now it's time for the at-home workout. This is going to require no equipment. All you need is your body weight. Exercise number 1 is spider planks. You're going to be doing 3 sets of these completely to failure. The goal on these is to get your knee as close to your elbow as possible, and you continue to alternate until you can no longer hold yourself up. Exercise number 2 at home is going to be windshield wipers. You're also going to be doing 3 sets of these all the way to failure, and the goal is to be able to get your feet all the way from one side to the other and just tap the floor, but you don't want to relax once your feet hit the floor. You want to keep that core engaged the entire time that you're alternating sides. Exercise number 3 at home is going to be cross kicks, and just like the other ones, you're going to be doing 3 sets all the way to failure. The goal on these is to ensure that your shoulders are coming off the floor and you're actually reaching all the way up to your toe to get maximum core engagement. Continue alternating legs until you can no longer do it. Just like the gym workout, you can take 60 to 90 seconds between sets on all of these exercises. Now you can hit both of these workouts 2 times per week each, totaling up to 4 times a week total of hitting direct oblique work. My recommendation to you though is don't hit the same workout back-to-back days. That way you can actually get proper recovery through these movement patterns. For example, if on Monday you did the gym workout, on Tuesday either do the at-home version or just make it a rest day. You wouldn't want to repeat that gym workout again on Tuesday if you already did it Monday. Additionally, I wouldn't recommend you doing any more targeted oblique work outside of the maximum of 4 that I provided you here. That way you can prevent overuse injury and actually allow time for those muscles to recover and develop. However, you could still do some more core workouts that aren't directed at the obliques. I have a few listed in this video that I posted here. I'll also link that in the description for you. Now, I want to leave you with one more bonus tip when it comes to total body sculpting. I highly recommend that you resistance train and build muscle throughout your entire body, not just the love handles area. Adding additional muscle mass to your frame will only expedite the process of losing these love handles and losing fat as a whole, as well as give you that wider V look that you're after. This is exactly what Carlos did inside of defaultkings.com. He didn't only train his core and obliques to get that V look, he was training his entire body throughout his time with us. To wrap this up, the real secret sauce to losing your love handles is a term that I personally coined. It's called patience. All jokes aside, it's important that you play the long game with your fat loss. Your lower abdomen, low back, and love handles are typically the first place that fat stores for men. So what that means is it's usually the last place for fat to leave from. To stay on the wagon long term, you have to build proper default actions. Default actions are the subconscious habits that you carry out daily. Some negative ones that you may have and should aim to change if you do are mindlessly snacking, skipping the gym, and over drinking alcohol. If you're a family-minded guy that wants to learn more about changing your default actions and permanently losing 10% of your body weight in 12 weeks or less, and being refunded in full if you gain back a single pound after working with us, go to defaultkings.com and book a free brainstorm chat with one of the fat loss experts on my team. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps push this video to people that need the help. And if you're interested in taking your body to the next level and getting abs, watch this video that I posted.